Greetings, y'all. It is Matt from the Green Arcade. I'm back playing some more Farming Simulator 25. And I don't have my earpiece in, so let me get that. Forgot to put the earpiece in. Gotta have the earpiece in, so I can hear things. And I say earpiece in the general thing of it's an earbud thing, headphones. It's not the over-the-ear headphones. I used to use the over-the-ear headphones, and then I found it a lot more convenient just to use the earpiece, use the earbud, the in-ear bud. All right. So, good morning. How's it going, Twitchy? And you guys let me know how the stream looks today. I made some adjustments to some settings. So hopefully it will look better now and in the future. I'm probably going to end up making a few more adjustments. I'm making adjustments not just for the stream here, but also for YouTube. I went back and started watching some of my videos. I'm like, yeah, you know, this quality could be better. Alright, so today our goal is to buy the whiskey factory. We're going to try to buy the whiskey factory. If you watched any of the YouTube videos this week, you'll know that we bought the brewery already. Bought Yingling. So it is up and running. We've got barley in there. We've got water in there. Now we need to get the Jack Daniels running. Need to get all that going. We've got to put dry corn, barley, corn, and I think water is what it takes. Let's go look. Own, that's what we own. Let's go to available. There we go. So yeah, corn, dry corn, barley, and water. So we should be good to go. There's a save. Alright, so this is the whiskey factory. Now I just gotta figure out where to purchase it at. Dude, that looks like the Independence Day alien ship before they fired the laser. The color of the light there. Well, this is gonna be a tight spot to get through with a truck. Tell you what. So here's the dump point. There it is. Alright, so to get the whiskey factory, that's 240. So we're gonna start there. Alright, we own it. Really hate to spend that money, but you know what? Well, we're ranking it back. The more productions that we have running and selling this stuff, we'll be making more on everything. So, we've got that. Now we need to put barley in there. We have just a handful of barley because I dumped it all in the brewery. But we do have some fields to harvest, so we need to get on that. Let's head down to the farm. We want our harvester. Also, if you didn't see the YouTube video yesterday, maybe, we put in this refinery. This, you can get diesel and you can get propane. Mainly we're just using it for propane right now. You can do diesel on it. Let's see. Let's go up there. Where's that at? Oh, these are not the ones we own. Hang on. Here we go. So you can do diesel, you can do propane, and you can do water. All it needs is an electric charge, which it has that. It has all of the solar panels around it. Basically, we get our propane from here now, and then we just run it right over to the corn dryer here. Pretty much. I actually think we do have like a handful of barley over here, but it's almost not worth even. Yeah, 3,000 liters, 3,600 liters. Yeah, it's not even really worth hauling just that much down there. So let's go get these. We gotta harvest these fields anyway. Let's go harvest these fields and we'll dump the barley directly in there. What I will do is transport some dry corn down there. And some corn. I have to go down south to get just the non-dried corn. Morning, Trent. How's it going? Got all the alfalfa and clover and grass ready to go. We do need to sell some silage, but right now the prices, they are in the tank. They're at the bottom of the tank. Morning, Jeff. Morning, Yeti. How's it going? Good morning for farming. Oh yeah, that reminds me. That guy's got a plow. I've got another plow down at one of the southern farms down there. I need to take it down to. I've got a couple contracts out there waiting to be started. Some pretty nice ones too. Payout's gonna be good. Steven, how's it going? Yeah, I was gonna check that. I did a cultivating contract on the clover field up there. Did they replant it yet? No, they haven't replanted it yet. It's fully fertilized, but they haven't replanted it in anything yet. I'm kind of curious. I'm gonna watch that. If they replant that clover, we may just have to buy it as a clover field. All things are good here. Good morning for farming. We've got barley to harvest here. Hazards off, turn beacons off, and then we will that up. That looks fairly good. We'll hire that out. Alright, let me go grab that tractor with the plows on it. It is at the Brown farm down here. Right there. Whew, and it's dirty. It's been working though. Been doing plowing contracts, been doing everything. Cultivating, plowing. So yeah, let me know how the stream looks, guys. How does it look okay? I'm messing with some settings, trying to get a better quality stream and video to both Twitch and YouTube. So hoping to be able to achieve that. I got to thinking about it and I'm like, you know what? I'm still using the settings based off my old internet. So I'm like, you know what? Let me try doing some higher quality stuff if it'll handle it. Got the new computer here. Got the new internet, so hopefully it'll work out. I need to buy some fields today too. Hopefully we'll get our barley harvested, and then I think we'll get into September. Or maybe at least the very end of August. Nice soybean field down there. I think it's time to paint this tractor too. All my stuff inside here is turned into the Terminator 2 liquid metal. The only downside with these tractors is when it's time to paint them, it doesn't just chip away at the paint. It completely removes the color, and it turns into the literally the liquid metal kind of texture from what was it, the T1000, the liquid metal Terminator. Even the upholstery, which is bizarre. The grates have turned metal. Oh, there's a save. Is it hot enough for everybody? Hot enough for me. Our temperatures. We were at 97 yesterday. And man, with the humidity kind of combined in with it, it's terrible. Need to check the sale prices too. I haven't done that yet today. See if we got any class 11 combines or class 10 or 11 combines that we can put in here. Alright, so the two contracts that I've got active right now, and it was a stroke of luck that these turned out to be right next door to each other. So you've got that field up there, and then that field right there. They're literally on top of each other. So when we finish one, we can move on to the next one. And they actually are worth quite a bit of money. That one's 29 grand, and that one's 38 grand. So let's get started on them. That is a weird line setup. I'm guessing it's probably because of the edge of the field, though. Got no other way to change it. We'll just accept it that way. Usually best to do the whatever it auto detects. Yep. Okay. And it's rocking and rolling. I'd bring the other plow down, but that's such a long drive. I'll just let this guy run until he gets finished and then move him up. Alright, back to the combine. So we did harvest that barley field. We've got this one to harvest, that one to harvest, and that one to harvest. And I don't think there's any more. We already harvested that big one there. Don't think there's any other barley fields out there that we own. Nope. I think that's it. So we've just got those 3 fields to do. So let's go to him. And we will sit tight with him for a minute. But yeah, let me know how the stream looks. If it looks terrible, it looks better, it looks worse. Again, messed with some settings, went in and changed, gosh, I'd have to go back and look at my screenshots to see what I changed. Changed my bit rate for streaming, I changed the quality for recording a little bit. I'm gonna mess with that. Oh, he's gonna go straight down. I was like, what is he doing? And I'm not putting straw down. Really, there's no money in straw. If you're really struggling, I mean, like, if you're really hurting and struggling for money, then I'd say, yeah, it's a byproduct of the field. Go ahead and put it down. Or if you have animals, we don't have animals, so when we do get animals, I'll start putting straw back down on these types of fields, oat fields, barley fields, wheat fields, you know, whatever we get straw off of. It was 93 degrees Fahrenheit. Where you live in England? Wow, it's even hot in England. Wow. It's 34 degrees Celsius. Yeah, that's, I guess 0 is freezing for you guys in the Celsius things. 32 degrees is freezing for us in Fahrenheit. But 93 degrees in England, wow. Do you have high humidity there? Gucci says you got high heat and high humidity. You're getting that deep south weather, yeah. England's getting that deep south weather, unfortunately. There's money in bales if you have a bunch. You mean straw? Just regular straw? I know there's money in the soybean straw. And we have a different method for picking that up. There's a little bit more money in the corn stalk stuff, but it's not like soybean straw. Soybean straw, there's way more money in soybean straw. The humidity's ridiculous, yeah. You got that deep south weather. That's how it is all the time here in the deep south. Type of weather where you sweat, where you know you probably shouldn't, places, you know, on your body that it's like, oh man, you know the humidity's up when you start that. It is bad. Said if anybody ever comes up with a way to pull the humidity out of the air, like create like a large scale dehumidifier that sits outside and pulls all of that humidity out of the air and turns it into water, without using, you know, a gas generator or electricity or something like that. Something that uses maybe like solar power or wind energy, you know, something that doesn't cost anything to do that, to operate that way. They would make a lot of money. They would not only make a lot of money, but make a lot of water, and, you know, be able to store the water that's being pulled out of the air. Out there, you know, out in the west, I know, like the desert, and, you know, Arizona, places like that, they have the dry heat, air quote, dry heat. It's still hot, but they really don't have the humidity in the air that we do here. Y'all hear that somebody died with the bubonic plague out in Arizona? I had to read that a few times. I was like, what? But yeah, they said somebody died of the bubonic plague. It's also called the plague, officially, the plague. Somebody died with that. We haven't seen the plague in a long time. I know there have been cases, but we haven't seen really anybody die of it in a while. It was really bad way back in the day. Gosh, when was that? The 1800s? A lot of people died from that. And now, in other news, they're watching Mount Rainier. They're worried it might erupt. There's a lot of earthquakes going on around Mount Rainier right now. So yeah, they're kind of concerned about it. They're still watching the big volcano in Alaska. The one out off the coast of Oregon out there in the ocean, it finally did erupt. But it didn't cause any effects to really anything. But they're watching now Mount Rainier. I think that's in Washington. I think that's up there with all the other volcanoes. Well, like in Washington, you can go to a certain spot where, and even in northern Oregon, you can go to a certain spot where you can see Mount St. Helens, Mount Hood, Mount Rainier, I want to say Mount Adams. There's more. I don't know how many more. But there are several volcanoes in Washington State that, you know, besides St. Helens, have been dormant for a while. Morning, Yulberry. How's it going? Is it hot and humid there too? We're talking about the humidity in the UK. And you guys are getting hit with a stroke wave, like a heat stroke wave. Got the 90 degree something degree temperatures and high humidity. Y'all need to get like a badge from the deep south. Welcome to the deep south weather. I'm ready for fall. July is usually when it kind of starts. It gets warmer in May and June, but July, August, all the way really through September, the last, maybe if we're lucky, the last week or two of September, we'll start to see a die-off of some of the humidity and the temperatures will come down a little bit, but it's still pretty bad. Really, it's mid-October before we see any consistent change of, you know, temperatures coming down. That's why I like fall so much. Fall here, mid-October, like the second week of October, or third week of October, it's wonderful. Our highs will be in the 70s, the humidity will be like nothing. It's just a nice, cool, crisp, you know, day. The highs are in the 70s, mid-70s, The lows are maybe in the mid to lower 60s. It's fantastic. Alright, before we move over there, we're going to continue. Yesterday was 90 Fahrenheit and sticky, humid. Good morning, Fuzzy. How's it going? And you guys just join in and let me know how the stream looks. Does it look better? Does it look worse? I am experimenting, I guess I should say. I'm experimenting with some new settings. Hoping to get a better quality stream and YouTube video to both Twitch and YouTube. So, probably won't be able to tell on the YouTube side until these videos actually go up, but I can go higher. I can go back to what I was on some settings, which was what I was on. What I was on was like the lowest. Where is this guy going? I had tried to hire him out right there, but I guess he didn't want to start right there. Sometimes the hired workers, they just pick right back up where you left off, and sometimes they want to go around the edges of the field just to make sure they didn't miss anything, so maybe he'll go back to that spot. Yeah, see, he wants to go around the edge to make sure he didn't miss anything. You didn't miss anything, bro. You did good. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you checked that area too. Yeah, you did good there. Gotta fart a little bit. Fart some of that chopped up stuff there out. Looks like Giants actually fixed precision farming. Well, that's good to know. I bet John will be happy. Has he delved back into it yet? We haven't really started anything with it yet. I feel like probably the best time to start precision farming is in the winter, before you actually plant anything. That way you can kind of prep all the stuff the right way. Yeah, I might look into it. Probably in the winter. It's a shame that they don't make that part of like the base game where you can just turn it on. They keep releasing it as a standalone mod that comes much later. It'd be nice to kind of start with it from the get-go once the game releases, but you know. My thing is, it's like it's their mod. It's a Giants mod. You're taking the extra year to work on the game, you know, why not throw precision farming in there and release it when the game drops, you know, the new game, instead of releasing it much later as its own standalone mod. Not gonna fill up, so I'm gonna go grab this truck. Go dump this little bit of barley that we've got here. Put it in the whiskey factory. What are they calling that officially? Where is it? Right there. Jack Daniel's whiskey. So that's what they're calling it. Okay. So technically it is the whiskey factory, but it's the Jack Daniel's whiskey. We'll call it Jack's. We're gonna take this over to Jack's. Dumping in where? Okay, here it is. I'm like, where did it go? Alright, so we got some barley in there now. I'll grab the water tanker. This might be the fun part, trying to get around in here. You can definitely see having the cab over truck in here, because man, it's tight. I made it though. I'll just park this right here for a moment. I did have to buy this land just so I could put the water tank in. And I'm guessing since Jack Daniels needs water too, I may have to put another tank in over here. I could just drive over there and grab it, but it's a lot easier to refill it if it's like right here by the thing. And I'll have to go grab a load of corn and a load of dry corn. And actually, the dry corn I can bring over here with the other truck. I've got it down there where I've been drying the corn at. We got a little bit of barley, a little bit of water. We need corn and dry corn. Okay. I'm glad I don't have to bring propane in here. Because that propane trailer that I've got, it is a lot longer. Thought about switching them out. Getting one of these. This is one of DJ's tankers. Getting a different color, getting maybe a red one for the propane. It holds 10,000 liters more anyway. So whoa, hello. That thing whipped around. I should probably not have parked this on a hill. Let me see if I can push it back. Go back. Don't park your trailer on a hill. Get some running speed here. Go reverse. Go faster. Oh boy, you know what? I ate my Wheaties this morning. I forgot about that. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Bum, bum. Woo. Got it. Alright, let's go. I'm gonna put this over here. I'm gonna keep this one with the harvester. So I'm actually gonna take it on down the hill because he's gotta go down there and harvest. He should be okay up here for now. He may actually be full now. Yeah, I think he got full. Not to the point where there's any more left to cut, but he's full where he had to stop. I'm gonna take this down the hill, park it down here, and then I'll get the combine. All these two fields over here is all barley. Start on the big one first. We did that field way over yonder. Back to the combine. Gotta take the header off. Good morning, Crazy. How's it going? You know what? I didn't check the sales yet, have I? Yeah, there's a little Deutschfar. Yeah. Not really that interested. Boy, is that a ravine or what? Look at that. Never noticed that before. I just thought it went straight down over here. There's like a ravine down in here. This kind of looks like where the railroad tracks are come across for when Doc and Marty put the DeLorean on the railroad tracks. And the locomotive was a spectacular wreck down at the bottom. Yeesh. I am really surprised that Universal, I say Universal because Robert Zemeckis and Bob Gale, the guys who are like in charge of pretty much the Back to the Future franchise, the original one, have said that they will not be coming back to do any more Back to the Future stuff. Which I kind of agree with. You know, it's a perfect trilogy. There's no need to go on and, you know, ruin it. I'm surprised that Universal has not tried to come back and do like a remake of it. Because, you know, that seems to be the thing this day and time is the big, you know, executive studios bringing stuff back to make remakes and make more money. You know, that's kind of the name of the game when it comes to, you know, film franchises, especially stuff as big as, you know, like Ghostbusters and gosh, how many Fast and Furiouses are they up to now? There's like 10 or 11. fire that out. Go back up to the truck at the farm. This farm. We'll load up with some corn. Hey, what? Let me get the dried corn. This is where the dried corn's at. So let me get the dried corn first. Dry corn. $25. There's a lot of them. I don't know how many exactly there are. It's kind of like Transformers. I don't know how many there are of those now. Don't know how many X-Men's there are. Don't know how many. There's a whole franchise of stuff out there, and apparently they're redoing Harry Potter for, what is it, HBO or something? The Max, HBO Max maybe? They got a whole new cast, and there's a lot of people that are not really happy about it. I would have thought, you know, they could have gone on with the original actors, but I'll tell you, a lot of the original ones, you know, have passed on in real life, you know. Look at Alan Rickman, and then what was her name? Was it Maggie something? Both Dumbledores passed away. McGonagall, whoever played Professor McGonagall, I can't remember her name. Yeah, a lot of people there have died. So they'd have to recast a lot of those roles. I know in the movies they kind of killed some of them off too, but some of those roles they would have to recast anyway. So I don't know. It's one of those franchises though. It's best to leave it where it ended. Kind of like Back to the Future. You know, it's best just to leave it where it ended. You know, you ended it well. And really, in my opinion, they should have done the same thing with Toy Story. That ended with the third film. When that ended, it ended really well. That was the end of the Andy saga. So that was the end for me. Now they're making a fifth one, where the toys are going to be allegedly duking it out with, I think they called it a frog pad. So it's like an iPad, but it's a kid's iPad. The toys are going to fight back against the technology. So yeah, I don't know. The fourth one just it felt like one of those spin-offs that was just not necessary. It was okay to have, but just was not necessary. First three, those they were where it was at. Kind of, you know, they tried to do the same thing with Indiana Jones. You know, you had the first three, so you had Raiders of the Lost Ark, the Temple of Doom, and then the Last Crusade. So those are kind of the three originals from, you know, that time. Then they came in with the Crystal Skulls, which, yeah, it was kind of weird. And then you had, gosh, what was the one after that? Was it the fifth one after that? The Dial of Destiny? I still haven't seen that one. But I think Harrison Ford said he's pretty much done. So they'll probably recast him too as Indiana Jones. Alright, we've got our first load of dry corn in the Jack Daniels factory. Oh boy. I hope he makes this wider in the update. Huh? Oh. There's no way. You're either gonna get stuck on the building. Wonder if I can pull in there and have enough room to turn that over around. I'm over as far as I can go. Whoa, just barely, man. Yeah, I mean, it probably wouldn't hurt, Mr. DJ, if you're watching. Probably wouldn't hurt to move this lot over just about, maybe even just 6 feet would help. But yeah, just put that lot kind of flush up with, maybe not flush, but right up closer to the brewery over there. Give us a little more room to operate. I have to start bringing that shorter trailer in here too. This is a longer trailer. Only there was a trailer that had a turning axle. You know what? There might be. Here. He's still plowing. Let's go back over to the harvester. He's still doing his inrows, man. AC Gaming, how's it going? Good morning. We do have the other trailer. It's still tight getting in there, but I think we can get in there better with it. So what else did we need? You know what? We've got dry corn, we've got barley, we've got water, we need corn. So let me go back to that truck. Since that's still running. I will run down and get just regular corn. We've got some down south. I did try the snack wrap. It came back out on Thursday from McDonald's. I don't know how to feel about it. I mean, it tastes like chicken, so if octopus joints taste like chicken, they hit it right on the nail. My thing is like when we had the snack wraps back in the day before they discontinued them, we had grilled chicken in them. I think those were better. Now it's like the fried chicken strips that they have. So it's still kind of okay, but I think it would be better with the grilled chicken back in them. Probably definitely would be healthier. I think they cost more now too. They're like $3.99 now for one snack wrap, and they're I want to say they're probably the same size. I think they kind of feel like they're the same size as they were. Only they're $2.99 now, so they're $3. Oh, is that a real thing? I saw where they had like some kind of s'more McFlurry right now. I'm sure it's probably just a seasonal thing. Kind of like the pumpkin pies. Here we get the pumpkin pies, and they're not too bad. Some places got a blueberry pie, like a blueberry and cream pie. We've had the strawberry. I think the staples here. We've had the strawberry and cream, and then of course they always have the apple pie. This is not where I need to go. I need to go over here. The regular silo. There's no dried corn in there, no beans in there. I think the only thing I should have here is just corn. Yeah, plenty of corn. Looks like my harvester is getting full over there, so I'll fill this up and then I'll come back for it. That down. Let's go back over to our harvester. You're right there by the truck, so that kind of works out. Move him closer to the field too. Tell you what, I'll bring him back here a little bit. Yep, all the pumpkin stuff. Man, it's starting to appear in like the grocery stores and stuff. I'm seeing pumpkin scented candles and pumpkin coffees and pumpkin cookies and pumpkin, you know, everything. Pumpkin rolls and stuff like that. The rolls I've seen though, it's pumpkin rolls with buttercream inside them. That's not the same. When I've ever had a pumpkin roll, it's always had the cream cheese in it. So you have to keep it refrigerated, but I think it's better that way. It tastes better. Now let's see if he'll hire back out where he left off. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Sometimes you feel like in that, hey, is he actually gonna do it? He's actually gonna do it. Cool. Donuts or roll? I don't know. Are you talking about pumpkin? I don't know if I've ever had a pumpkin donut. Had the pumpkin roll. Had pumpkin bread. Now, I can't say that I've ever had a pumpkin donut. Had every other kind of donut. You've never heard of a pumpkin roll? So basically it's just like pumpkin cake, or maybe like a sweetened kind of pumpkin bread, and it's a layer of the cream cheese, which is the best, or buttercream frosting is spread across it, and then you roll it up, and then it's usually flat on the ends, but it's rolled, so it's kind of like a giant. Have you ever seen the Swiss rolls from Hostess? It's kind of like a giant Swiss roll, but it's like pumpkin cake with white buttercream icing or cream cheese icing rolled into the center. So yeah, like a giant Swiss roll, kind of. Wow. Don't drive off in the river. And I may try to back this out. It might be easier to back it out than trying to go around with this long trailer. So now we should have everything in there that we need to start this thing. We've got barley, we've got corn, we've got dry corn, we've got water. Now the goal is to fill it up. And it might be harder to fill up on the barley because we don't have... Guess we could try to plant some winter barley, but I really like doing the spring barley, to be honest. Guess I'll go ahead and activate some of this. Oh, is it just the one thing that you activate? Okay, so it's not separate. You don't have to activate the individual stuff. So it's like the beer factory. Everything else, like the fermenting silos and the... Well, even that's a single. So over here it's separate. So it's kind of like the beer factory. Okay, you just activate it. That's all you got to do. I do need to change. We're not going to store any of that. We're just going to sell it. Change that to selling. And then we will activate it. Alright, we're making whiskey. You know, we got to make some whiskey for snakebite. That was always the running joke on the Waltons. If you remember the Baldwin sisters, they were making the recipe, which was... They had a still, so they were making moonshine, basically. So they said that was kind of the running thing, you know. Like Godsey always said, that he had some of the recipe that he could sell to customers for snakebite. I guess that would maybe kind of work. You probably wouldn't hurt as bad, but. Got bit by a snake, you might want a little bit of whiskey to, yeah. What they used to give people back in the day. If you ever went to the dentist, they'd give you whiskey. I guess to numb the pain or make you not care about the pain. Probably still hurt. But this was back before the days of, you know, Novocaine and lidocaine and, you know, all the really, I guess, modern type pain medicine. Alright, so we've got the whiskey factory running. Oh man, there's a save. If you're ever in first person and get that autosave, it's weird. Alright, back down to the combine. How's our contract guy doing? He's at 93%. He's almost done. Our fermenting silos are almost full, but the price for silage right now is not that great. I'm assuming it's still the same. Actually, it's better. It's better than it was, especially at the biogas plant. It's 220 at the biogas plant now. That was like 212, 214, 212. So I guess the prices came up a little bit. Morning, Positive Pizza Power. How's it going? Save the game. I guess I could go... What I could do is bring that other truck down here, empty into it, and then take this truck up there and haul the silage. That's not the truck. It's one of these here. Yep. So I'll take this truck down there and empty the barley into this. And then I'll bring that truck up, empty the barley up here, and then go haul some silage and sell it. Make us some money, because we bought the whiskey factory, so we're down to 500,000. We're not in debt still. We've paid off our loan. That's always a good thing. Just got back from Rib Fest. Oh, that sounds really good. Is that a barbecue fest? Please say it's a barbecue fest. We get some barbecue ribs, some barbecue baked beans, and some coleslaw. Good stuff right there. Alright, let me run this up there. The big barbecue fest. Oh man. Rib fest. I miss our we have others, but we had one really good barbecue restaurant, and they the guy that ran it, him and his wife ran it, and he died, and she is just to the point where she can't do it anymore, so they ended up closing that business, and it was the best around. They had, you could get a plate of ribs and barbecue baked beans and coleslaw. You could get a barbecue pulled pork barbecue sandwich with coleslaw on it. You could get barbecue nachos. Man, those were the bomb. That's what I'd get a lot of times at work. I'd go pick up barbecue for everybody. Typically we did it on like a Friday. And I'd get some barbecue nachos. And it was pulled pork barbecue, the big round, like corn tortilla chips, and a lot of cheese. And it was so good. Man, I miss it. What? Why did my truck suddenly stop? Did I get stuck on something? I don't know. Barley there. This should be easier to get around the corner down here. Oh yeah, this is the trailer we need to bring up here. The other trailer we'll just use to haul elsewhere, I guess. I'm gonna park in this shade tree for a minute. And I think our combine's about full again. Getting there. Been using a small dump trailer from Carl Farms. Yeah, we had that pack, but the thing is where do you draw the line on unrealistic stuff? The thing is you can make the smallest trailer 1,000,000 liters. that just, yeah, I don't know. That you have to draw a line somewhere. With Mr. Stevie stuff, there's a line. So like the maximum capacity on like a lot of the trailers and stuff is like 240. Some of them go up to 480. The same goes with like your harvesters and stuff like that. Some max out at 28, 30. Some max out at 60. Some max out at 120. Some max out at 240. So it's just kind of where do you draw the line? Oh, did he get full? He did get full. Alright then. Well, let's go dump the barley out. Yeah, a million liters. That, I don't know. If you use the realistic capacities, I mean, it's depends on how you want to play, but to me, the Mr. Stevie stuff seems to be just ideal for me. I mean, number one, you wouldn't want to really use the realistic capacity on a lot of stuff because you would never have time to do anything if you did. Like this combine, this 7150, if you use the realistic capacity on it and the realistic unload speeds and stuff like that, it would take forever to do this whole map. Even just a part of it. It's so big, it's 4x map, so. But you do get that little extra boost that gives you kind of a fighting chance to, you know, actually enjoy it. I don't think the small one has 100K. Yeah, you can always change it to what you want if you know how to do that. But I think the smallest one is, I want to say around, don't quote me, definitely under 100,000. It's like either 50 something thousand maybe, if that. And then the unrealistic capacity, it only goes to 1 million. You can't do a whole lot of in between there. Where you going, bro? Come on, come back. Nope. You just start right here. Right there. Come on. Think about it. Forward. Engage. Good combat. Let's see. Where did I leave that truck? Oop. Let's see if we can make some of our money back. Play some old country music in this old truck. All my exes live in Texas. Oh, Louisiana woman, Mississippi man, we get together every time I can. Whoa, that bump moved me off the thing. I was opening my Dr. Pepper. That railroad crossing moved me off my track there. Love how the cup holders are way up there on the dash. You gotta like bend up, reach for your drink, and then you can actually accidentally shift your gears on your truck. Called an accident. Looks like the contract guy finished down there. Yep. So we'll get 38 grand there. Alright, let's actually go down to him and move him up. Don't have very far to go. Gotta drive all the way to work. All the way to work. I'm there. Running joke. Another Toy Story, what was it? Toy Story 2, yeah. Toy Story 2 reference there. Can't believe I gotta drive all the way to work on a Saturday. All the way to work. And Al's literally driving from his apartment across the street to Al's toy barn. Alright, back to the truck. You get too close with these, though, you gotta kind of come out a little bit. This way. There we go. Alright, so let's make sure that we are still going to the biogas. Silage. 220 biogas. That's where we're going. Let's do it. So all the crops now are kind of synced up, with the growth states at least. So they all are in about the same growth stage. So it looks like every crop that we're looking at now as far as fields go, soybeans, corn, cotton. We actually do have a cotton field, so I'm not too concerned with getting the big cotton field down there. It'd be nice to have. But there's other fields that we're kind of have a priority, I think, for us. So, but at least they're kind of all synced up now. So we know, which crop is a priority. I think soybeans would probably be number one, and then corn would probably be the next one, and then maybe cotton. Let's actually go take a look. So we've got bean fields that we've planted, and there's bean fields that are like this one. It's right in between the two bean fields that we've got there. We've got bean fields all around it. Then we've got some corn fields up here kind of near it. We own that bean field. There's another bean field down here with a cornfield beside it. I'm really want these two. And then we look a little further down. There is a cornfield right there. It's fully fertilized, no weeds. How much is that one? That one's $471. It's not too bad. Kind of curious as to what they're going to plant here. It almost looks like they've... I don't know if that's still cultivated. I think it's still cultivated. And there's a cornfield right here beside the cornfield we planted. We need money. Hopefully we'll make enough here and, you know, doing these contracts and stuff. Maybe just start kind of going clockwise, maybe get the bean fields first. I think there's way more money in beans. I mean, we've got a ton of corn planted down south. Don't know if we'll be able to get this one or not. That one's kind of expensive, 1.6. Then there's another one up here. We planted corn right beside it. So that one we own. That one's in corn. And then we planted corn right there. But that one is also, that one's 1 million. So that one's, it's up there. I don't know if we'll be able to afford that. Maybe. We do still have the loan though. And we're probably, I really would say let's not take the loan, but we're probably going to have to take the loan to buy some of these fields. Because they're big ticket fields. But think about it, I mean, you know, we don't have to replant them in corn, you know. We could do beans in some of them in the future, or corn, you know, we could do them in corn. We could do them in anything we want to. We could plant the whole field in taters. Probably not, but I'm just saying you could though, if you wanted to. Plant them taters and make us some tater chips. Ain't nothing like a good salted tater chip, I tell you what. Make some chips. Too bad you can't make corn chips. You know, because there's a lot of corn chips. There's potato chips and then there's corn chips. That would be so cool if you could mod in like realistic stuff. I know back in when DJ did Green Valley, Nebraska, I'm pretty sure that was like a Lay's potato chip factory that he had there, but now there's the in-game potato chip factory. But it'd be cool to have like Doritos, and you think about Doritos, you know, you could do corn there, you could do cheese there. What else goes in Doritos? Garlic. I think there's garlic in Doritos. And then you think about like sun chips and stuff like that. They use sunflower oil and canola oil, and you know. Where am I going? I need to go to the Lord. I need to turn around, number one. I was supposed to go to the biogas. I don't know where. I'm thinking barley. That's what I'm thinking. Got the barley on my mind. You were always on my mind. Need to go to the biogas plant with this. This is silage. I don't think the people at Jack Daniels would appreciate finding silage in their whiskey. That would not be good. Nope, almost missed it again. Almost turned. I look. Maybe I need to open another Dr. Pepper or something. I almost missed it again. I almost drove right by it. I need to put a big flashy sign out front. Silage, biogas, here. Needs to have like a flashing marquee lights around the sign. That'd be neat if somebody made a mod for that. You know, you could have like a flashing marquee sign. I know there's signs that you can put out there that you can put custom messages on, but they don't have big flashing marquees on them. Alright, I'm gonna drink some more Dr. Pepper. I may go ahead and start buying some fields here real soon. Maybe we'll do that in the next video, so here in just a little bit. You're right. Morning, Tomcat. How's it going? How many days you got left before you can change your name? Or has it already happened? One more load here, and then we'll go down to the blue farm. Speaking of full, our combine is getting full too. Head back down there in a minute. And we're almost back to 700. Let me shut that down right there and we'll head back down to our combine. Who is about to be full. And we're full. Yes, Alma is getting a new update. It will require a new game save. They're getting a lot of stuff. He's adding alfalfa to the map. Kind of a rework. There's actually going to be more. I'd have to go back and read the thing here. I can read it here. Changelog 1.1. He added alfalfa. Soybeans now leave usable straw. He updated the field layout. It now features 38 fields. He updated the farmland layout, so there's 47 farmlands. It's got a new selling point. It's got Alma Logistics. You can purchase all your required materials for constructible placeables and stuff. And he sped up the drying process in the corn dryer and added a smoke effect during its operation. So, and he says maybe not everybody will be thrilled about this, but you know, starting a new game save gives you a chance to play with all the updates and stuff. So. He's making some of the bigger fields smaller. Yeah, I figured what he's doing is probably taking like that big field up north and probably gonna divide it up, like divvy it up. And probably the field over there by the starting farmland, he's probably gonna divide that up and just, you know, reduce the prices on it to where you can start smaller maybe and, you know, work the I loved Alma. Alma was definitely in my definitely like in my top 5. Probably, I don't know, it might have been the #1 map. I'm trying to remember. It might have been my #1 map from Farming Simulator 22. But we played it then. We came back and played it again in 25 here. But then we made the move to Judith Plains, and I don't know. We've kind of been there and done that already. Now, I'll say this. He is also working on, what is it called? Is it Iowa Plains? He's working on that one. I'm definitely interested in that one. If he ever makes a 4X version of Alma or Iowa Plains, anything from Chibaki, you know, I've pretty much liked. If he ever makes a 4X version, I'm there. I would so be there. Is he okay? What do you mean by is he okay? I think he's okay. Yeah, he's making a new map. Yeah, he's doing a new map. It's called Iowa Plains, I think. Or Iowa Plains View. Trent, you probably know. Is he okay? I think he's okay. I didn't know he might not be. I still don't know what you mean by that, but yeah, he's making another map. Well, DJ's making another map too. So you gotta get him in there. It's like, Annie, are you okay? Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Except it's Chibaki. So it's Chibaki, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay, Chibaki? Are you Chibaki, are you okay? Are you? It doesn't have the same ring to it as Annie. Yeah, he's making a new map. It looks pretty good to me. It's got, it does have some additional stuff to it. You'll be able to make, what is it, pancakes, I think? I have to go back and look at it again. He's adding pancakes to it and stuff like that, so looks pretty good. If I can go back and find it. Ooh, I like that tractor, Trent. 430T. That a lawn tractor? Like a garden tractor, lawn tractor? Looks to be about the size of a lawn tractor. I love how when I get on my phone, after not being on my phone, that all my notifications just start pouring in all at once. It's like, hey, he's awake. Let's send him all his notifications right now. For the new, let's see, I'm trying to see what the name of the map was. Iowa Plains. Yeah, that's what it was. Okay, I'm gonna post this in. If you have access to the Puma Cloud Discord, you'll be able to see this. This is the screenshot of the new some of the new stuff. Some of the same stuff is coming over from Alma. So you've got the apples, apple juice, stuff like that. But you'll be able to, you know, and then popcorn and stuff like that. All that's coming back over. But he added in pancakes. I think we had orange juice already. Pumpkin pies, I think those were in there. Maple syrup, maybe. Whole lot of stuff. Yeah, adding in a lot of stuff. A lot of juices. He's doing corn flour. Pizza's coming back. This is the kind of the teaser title page. I'll post that in there too. So it is called Iowa Plains View. I know I wasn't crazy. I think I remember that title somewhere. I don't know where he stands on. He teased that he was trying to put a come-and-go gas station, which is a pretty popular gas station. He was trying to put that in the game, but if he's trying to make this map for console, they probably won't allow that. He'll probably have to change that around. So he may have changed his stance on that, but we'll see, I guess. You can make firewood in there now. Putting in like a different kind of sawmill, so you can make firewood at it. You can get maple syrup out of some of the trees. I've got Smooth Criminal stuck in my head. Stuck in my brain. You've been hit by. You've been struck by. Criminal. Ow. Ow. I do like the looks of the new popcorn place though. Post that in there too. That looks pretty cool. Kind of like the old-timey buildings, you know, you see in the Midwest towns and stuff. Yeah, unfortunately, there's certain circumstances that require new saves. Basically, you can't take the existing stuff that exists and alter or change it to the new stuff, and yeah, it's one of those things where the XMLs would not match up. So you would have to have a new save. Sometimes they can do an update where it doesn't require a new save. But if it's something that's made into the map, a lot of times you'll see map makers come back and do stuff that are like add-ons, that are like stuff you can build. So they'll put it in placeables so you don't have to have it, but you can use it. But he has decided to build a lot of this stuff into the map, like adding the soybean straw in, changing the actual map layout. If you tried to do that and continue on from the previous save, whatever you had done to those fields or whatever you had done around those fields could cause some instability. So when you do stuff like that, you definitely got to have a new game save. Better than crashing your game and then losing everything you know. Just look at it as like, you know, some people love to read books. So they'll read a book and they'll enjoy reading the book, and then they'll finish the book and then they'll put it on the shelf for a minute. And then they'll be like, okay, you know what? I want to read that book again. So they'll go back and read that book again. But this time, it's like the deluxe unabridged version of the book. Like, oh, I haven't read the unabridged version. So to me, it's kind of like that. When you're playing Farm Sim, if you've already played a map, but there's been some pretty decent big changes to it, you can go back and play it again, and it's like a whole new world. I hate to sound like Aladdin there, but you basically, it's kind of got the same familiarity to it, but it's like reading your favorite book all over again, just in a different way. And it doesn't have to be a book. You know, some people like watching, you know, I like watching movies, but there's new versions that come out. Like, okay, let's take Independence Day. So Independence Day, everybody's pretty much seen the theatrical version of Independence Day. But if you're fortunate enough to have this on your streaming service or on like the special edition DVD, Blu-ray, whatever, there is an expanded version to Independence Day that adds a whole lot more dialogue and reference to the movie. So like it'll add on like 8 minutes of previously unseen footage to the movie, and it's built in so you can go back and watch it, and it's like when you watch it you're like, oh man, that makes sense. Or like the Goonies. So you got the Goonies, right? They went back and there's a whole octopus scene in the Goonies when they're in the water, right there where Willie's ship's at in the cave. There's a whole octopus scene that they cut from the film, but then they went back and re-added that deleted scene. So you can watch that and it's like, well, that's cool. Well, at the end of the movie on the theatrical release, you hear Data talking about, you know, what was really scary, and he said the octopus was really scary, and then you're like, wait a minute, I don't remember an octopus. That's because they cut it. They cut it from the film. But you can go watch the deleted scene on it, and it makes sense after you see it. Yeah, it can go the other way. Sometimes the remakes, sometimes the different versions, you know. I think Blade Runner kind of fits into that category. You have the theatrical release of Blade Runner, and then you have gosh, there were different versions. I'm trying to remember what they had, like the director's cut, and then like the final cut, and a lot of them it changed like the whole mood of the film. I think the theatrical release, it had the narration or the dialogue by Harrison Ford. In the final cut or the director's cut, maybe both, it cuts out that dialogue. It cuts out the Harrison Ford kind of narration. So it just kind of changes the whole mood, but it adds stuff that you haven't seen before too. So I mean, it's kind of like watching it differently. Dumb and Dumber did the same thing. I didn't know there was an extended version of Dumb and Dumber, but there is. Adds a whole lot of previously unseen footage. And I like Dumb and Dumber. Dumb and Dumber is pretty good. Whichever version you watch. And he finished the field. At least this field, anyway. Can he finish this one and not fill up? We're at 69%. Yep, that does apply, Jeff. That's true. That does apply. It can also make it not as enjoyable the first time around. And unfortunately, that does happen. I think the same thing kind of happened with what was that map in Indiana? Was it Griffin, Indiana? Griffin, Indiana. When it came out, I think it came out on what is that? Farming Simulator 19. It came out. It was fantastic in Farming Simulator 19. Everything worked on the map. But then they re-released it for Farming Simulator 22, and nothing worked. I mean, it was a very, wasn't the same experience that you had the first time around. So I don't know. I think the bottom line is with anything that we've been talking about is you'll never know unless you go and try it. You'll never know, you know. You've gotta try it. If you never went swimming, you'll never know how fun it is. If you never, you know, ate a pizza, oh gosh, that's horrible to think about. If you've never had a pizza, you don't know what you're missing. You gotta try it. I didn't know I'd like octopus joints, but apparently they taste like chicken. So the new snack wraps, that's what they use. They use the chicken strips that the internet was saying they tasted like octopus joints. To me, it tastes like it tastes like McDonald's fried chicken, basically. If you got a chicken sandwich from there, like a McChicken or a what is the other one called? The McCrispy or whatever. Is that what it's called? It kind of tastes like that a little bit. It's a crispy chicken, but it's a soggy chicken by the time you get it. So yeah, Jeff, I think the issue there is they're not playing their own game. They have a lot of stuff that, you know, people keep telling them, you know, they need to fix this, they need to improve this, they need to do this. But what they're doing is like, they're not playing their own game. I think they're using other computer software to test stuff and do stuff, you know, and then they're not actually going in, and I don't think they actually play their own game. They're not dedicated to playing Farming Simulator like, you know, the rest of us. That's where we come in, I guess. we're the people that like the game and stuff, and we're like, hey, you need to do this, hey, you need to do that. And sometimes they, you know, they try to go in and you know, do what we want. You know, I always said, you know, GPS will never come to console because it's a custom script, you know, and all that stuff. Well, they did it. They brought it to console. It's just like Seasons. Everybody said back in the day, Seasons would never come to console because it's a custom script. It'll never work. Guess what? They put Seasons in the game and it came to console. So now when you're playing the game, you can either have Seasons on or off. You can actually turn it on or off. You can actually go back to playing the old school way if you want to, and just turn the seasonal stuff off and just plant your crops over and over again. And it'd be the same as it was back when we played 15. Completely without Seasons. So yeah. Yeah, I don't know, I think sometimes there's not enough change. But if you really like the map, go and try it. It might be something you might want to look at. Now, Iowa Plains View, that's going to be a completely new map. When that one comes out, I do not know when it's coming out. I heard maybe mid or late summer, so maybe soon? I don't know. Guess we'll see. When it drops, I guess. What year was your first FS? The really first FS that I really kind of got into was Farming Simulator 15. That one, I was watching TV one time and I saw a commercial for it. And I had played a lot of the mobile farming simulators. But the mobile farming simulators just, they didn't add up. I mean, it was like playing the early versions of Farmville or something to me, but kind of different. But when I saw the TV commercial for Farming Simulator 15, it was in October when I saw it, and I was like, I saw the cows and stuff, like the quality of the game. Like the cows were walking around, and I saw really when I saw the logging part of it, I was like, wow, hey, you can do logging. You can cut trees and do all that. I'm like, that sounds like that's right up my alley, because you could already do the farming part. And then they showed the farming part, and it was harvesters and stuff. And that's kind of where it really started for me. And then I discovered, John's channel, Puma Plow. Started watching Puma Plow and learning their videos and stuff. And enjoyed watching them play you could always get like a preview of a map if you were kind of curious about a map. They played a lot of the different maps, where I discovered the Stevie maps, and the Stevie stuff, and a lot of great maps came out of 15. And from Stevie, you had Black Rock and what was it? Plains and Simple, and then Plains and Simple 4X. There were other maps too. You had Volcano Island, and then Mountain Lake map came out, and then oh gosh, what were the other ones? There was one called States. There was Sherwood. There was actually there was one in-game map that came out with the gold edition, and I want to say that was Sosnovka. Which, since if you were on console, you kind of had limited options there. I had a laptop that I was playing a lot of the other maps on at the time. And you know, I probably still have a lot of those files somewhere backed up on a hard drive somewhere. Made the switch to PCs somewhere midway through 17. Yeah, meadowgrass ditch hay, that's funny. Tomcat, that's funny. Alright, we are done with this field. I'm going to move him over to the small field over here. Need to get back to selling the silage as well. Try to get us over that 700,000 mark. Guess I could do some winter barley down here if I absolutely wanted to rush and try to get it done. Morning, CM Gaming. How's it going? You're fairly new to FS. Great game. It's a very relaxing game. Let me go back up to the truck up here. Is that him? No. That's him right there. Go down to the blue farm. I hear the plane. He's following me. Where's it? Where's the shadow at? There's the shadow. He's literally right over me. If that's his shadow, then he is right. Should be in the sun there somewhere. Right above me. There he goes. Deplane, deplane. And then he turns south and goes over the other farm way over yonder. Thinking about just coming down and planting either grass or alfalfa in that field right there, because I forget about that field. This is the second year I've forgotten about that field down here. Maybe when I start farming, actually farming some of these fields down here, I'll remember it. But it's so small, you just forget about it. Just got back from letting chickens out of their coop. Fresh cold water for them. Fresh cold water in the kiddie pool. Yeah, man, that for the ducks. I was gonna say, oh man, you gonna go swimming? No. For the ducks. They probably need it. If it's as hot there as it is here, the heat and the humidity, whew, it's bad. ladies at work, they've been Amazon Prime week, so they had the Amazon Prime sale from the 8th through yesterday through the 11th, and they were like, "Oh yeah, I spent way too much." She said every day I was getting more boxes on the front porch, and my husband was like, "What's in this box? What's in this box?" And she just honestly said, "I don't know. Could be anything." Oh boy. I ordered a couple things. That's it. That's all I ordered from Amazon Prime Week. And it's stuff that I probably kind of really needed. It wasn't just stuff that I wanted, but probably stuff that I needed. I ordered another controller. It's basically the same controller that I've got, but my controllers, they typically don't last long. As much as I play, they really don't last long. And this controller, it's a nice controller. It's the RGB controller that lights up, so all the lights light up on it. You can customize it, and it was on sale. It was like 33% off or something like that. So I was like, you know what? Instead of paying full price for it, I'm just gonna go ahead and order a backup. So I've got a backup one for this one now. And then I also ordered some new pajama pants, because I like my pajama pants. They're comfy. They're nice, and they're nice to have in the winter too, because they're like, I don't know what they're actually made of. I think they're maybe part cotton, part fleece, part whatever fleece is, and then polyester maybe a little bit. Whatever they are, they're nice and comfy. Usually, unless I'm going outside to do something, I'm normally, if I'm just playing farm sim, or I'm going to be in my nice comfy pants. Basically, Fridays when I get off work, PJs go on, and then I'll just, that's all I wear pretty much. PJ pants go on, then I'll change them out over the weekend, and then when Monday rolls around, Monday morning, scrubs go back on. So oh, not this farm. Well, I'll get what's here. There's probably a little bit here. Go ahead and empty it. That way when we get ready to sleep, which we're probably getting ready to do because we're just about done harvesting down there. Go ahead and empty this, make sure I get it all. Yeah, there's 89,000 liters here. What controller do you like to get? It's called Power A. I'm guessing that's the name brand. It's the Power A RGB controller. You can get it in black or white, and then you can go in and customize what you want your backlit lights to be. My keyboard, I've got my keyboard and my controller and my mouse. They're all the same color now. I've just got them set to green. It depends on, what I want to set it to. So like when October rolls around, I'll probably switch it over to like maybe orange or red or something. You can mix the colors up. So if you wanted like your D-pad to be a different color and your joysticks individually to be a different color, and then it's got lights around like the outside, so you can change that up and make those different colors. A really nice controller. It's basically an Xbox controller, and it's got extra buttons on it too. It's got extra buttons on the underside and the backside of it. So if you needed to program any extra buttons to do anything, you could do that. another full load after this one at least. RGB equals higher yields? Really? RGB equals an aesthetically pleasing, is that the right word? Aesthetically pleasing experience? Kind of like the, you know, the lights you can get to put around your room or something like that, or like the bar lights you can put in the corners. The different type of like RGB lighting. You can customize them to whatever you want. Oh, we got the corn. Don't have that one. Might try to get that one. Depends on how much money we've got. Be nice to have that one. A lot of corn right there. Probably do a lot of that for chaff. And then probably harvest a lot of it too. Right makes corn, corn makes whiskey. And in this case it actually does, because we now own the whiskey factory. We own the brewery, so we're making the beer, and then we own the whiskey factory, so we're making the whiskey. Making soy milk. Hey, what do you do for a living? Well, we make beer, and we make whiskey, and we make soy milk. Kind of a combination there. We make all the liquids. You have the lights around the big TV in the basement? I've seen the lights that you can put like on the back of your TV, so whatever movie you're watching, it like detects whatever movie you're watching, like the lighting scheme of it, and then it matches on the back side of the TV so that it lights up your wall to whatever you're watching. So if you're watching, oh gosh, let me think of a movie here. If you're watching, well, let's say The Goonies, I guess, and they're in the room with all the gold, I guess it would project maybe like the flickering of the flames and the gold on the back side of the TV on the wall. That's what it is? Okay, same thing. I thought that looked pretty cool. Kind of another nice, aesthetically pleasing thing to have when you're watching your movie. Guess if you're, that'd be really probably cool if you're watching like a Christmas movie or something like that. You have all the Christmas colors, like if they're showing like a lot of Christmas lights or something like that, you'd have the lights matching, kind of shining on the wall. Feel like that would be awesome watching Star Wars. Dude, that would be cool. You think back to Star Wars, you'd have like all the fights in space when they're shooting the cannons and stuff like that. You'd have the flickering of the stuff, and then when they're having like a lightsaber fight, you'd have the flickering of the lightsabers, because you know there's a flash on the screen when it does it too, so it'd probably flicker in the back a little bit. Vlad, have you watched Star Wars with that? Can you verify? Does it do that? He says, oh heck yeah. That would be pretty cool. Bet just the title sequence would be cool, you know, when it's scrolling like all the yellow text at the beginning, telling you what's going on. Oh, not yet, but it does that on other movies. Well, that's cool. Bet Twister would be a good one. You have Twister with lightning and, you know, all that stuff. The Twister. That'd be weird if it would, like, project, like, the colors of the Twister, you know, it moving around and stuff. Ugh. It'd be like Twister in 3D without the 3D glasses. Silage do I have left down here? Uh, 163,000 liters. We may just wait on that one. On the rest of that. Just sell this last full load. We're already over 800,000 though. Well, that's good. Especially on the 100-inch TV. Wow. Y'all got a 100-inch TV? Man. Saw they had some 100-inch TVs at Walmart. Don't know what the brand was on it. Had a friend buy a TV at Walmart. It was, what was the brand name on that thing? I think it was called On or something like that. Might have been the brand name. Had it for a year and then it stopped working. And then the warranty on it, they wanted her to bring it to them and have them try to fix it. And then they said if they couldn't fix it, they would give her a refurbished one. I'm like, well, that doesn't sound like a very good warranty. And she said, no, it's not. So basically, she just went and bought another TV. I'd say, well, you know, I've had my TVs for, gosh, man. How long have I had these things now? I've had these TVs for it's over 10 years, because I bought these either in 2012 or 2014. So they are definitely over 10 years, because it's 2025 now. So they might be 10 to 12 years old. And they're still rocking and rolling. These are Samsung TVs. My monitors are curved Samsung monitors. And they still work fantastic. But the TVs are Samsung. They're obsolete now. They are 1080p televisions, but they're not, I don't know if you could classify them as smart TVs, because they don't have the thing that you can like watch like all the streaming services like in them. Basically what I have the Apple TV box, and I've always been a part of like the Apple ecosystem, so all of my stuff that I watch, you know, Hulu, the Apple TV stuff, Disney Plus, ESPN, YouTube TV now too. All of that is done through the Apple box, the Apple TV box. So, and it just hooks up to the HDMI in the back, and you know, you can go from there. I imagine they're probably all smart TVs by now, so. And I never got on the 4K bandwagon, but now apparently they're making, the next one is going to be 8K. So. What comes after 8K? We had the 1080p's, which I think, what would that be, maybe classified as the 2Ks. Then you had 4K TVs. Now you have 8K TVs. What comes after that? The 12K TVs or 16K? Is that a thing? 16K? I might be ready to buy a new TV when they come out with the 16Ks. Are they already out? They might already be out. I don't even know. By the time I get ready to buy a new TV, they'll probably have the glasses you can just put on and then just kind of like the, what was the Apple thing they had? The Apple Vision, whatever they called it? Where it's like goggles, you put them on and then you could watch a movie on a screen that's like hundreds of inches big. So it's like you're actually sitting in a theater, but it's like virtual reality. Alright, I'm gonna leave this right here. Alright, I'm gonna take this load of barley up to the whiskey dealio, the factory, the Jack Daniels. Kinda wish I had not put it in this long trailer, but you know, it is what it is. May have to just use these longer trailers like this for harvesting and selling at other places that are not, you know, just now. That's weird. Tomcat, I just got the notification that you posted in Discord, and I think it's for the stuff that you posted a while ago. Tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna do what I did before. I'm just gonna back out of here with this long trailer. Oh, you changed it. Okay. Is that not what the real life Jack Daniels distillery looks like? Well, this is in Montana, so it might be a little different up there. I don't know. Oh, if I can just make it out straight. Make it out straight. Come on, stay straight. Not that straight. Nope, hang on. Go that way a little bit. They give you homemade lemonade during the tour. Is it Jack Daniel's lemonade? Do you need a designated driver after you drink said lemonade? I don't know. What about the Yingling place? You ever been there? Does it look like the Yingling place? Probably not. Probably none of these probably look like anything like the real life things. America. Alright, but we've got them going though. We own both of them right now. Alright, I am going to take my first break. So YouTube, you guys, thanks for watching. We'll catch you guys in the next video. And we're probably going to buy some... I think we're going to start buying some land. Getting some fields. Getting ready, because we're getting closer to the fall time here. And yeah, we probably need to start looking at buying some of these fields that are going to be ready to go. So, until the next time, YouTube, remember you reap what you sow. It's Matt from the Grain Arcade. We'll see y'all in the next one.